The Georgia Bulldogs are 5-0, and they've got the Auburn Tigers coming to town this weekend. 3:30 kickoff on CBS, one of the biggest SEC games of the weekend. And it's always a big one when Auburn comes to town. SEC West rival, one of the longest rivalries in all of college football. They're not the program they used to be. They're very mid, as the kids would say. They are a mid team right now, still trying to find their groove, but make no mistake, this is a big game, and that means big-time recruits and targets and commitments are flocking to Athens. I've got a big old list over on DAWGSTRUCTION. It's an early list. I'm still gathering confirmed visitors, but I did want to get this video out there and let y'all know which commitments are going to be in town, which targets are going to be in town, which guys do you need to keep an eye on. So let's dig right into it. So I did confirm a few commitments, not all of them just yet. And again, the full list will be on DAWGSTRUCTION. I'm not going to give the full list on YouTube because I want y'all to check out the site and read the expanded list there. But as far as commitments go, 5-star cornerback A.J. Harris, one of the best cornerbacks in the entire 2023 class across the country. He's going to be in town. 4-star tight end Pierce Spurlin, pass-catching machine, is going to be in town. Big Georgia guy. 4-star edge Gabriel Harris, South Georgia native, now playing at IMG Academy. He's going to be in town. 4-star linebacker C.J. Allen, tough, physical linebacker who can run and hit. One of my favorite commitments in this class. He's going to be in town. 4-star wide receiver Tyler Williams, one of Georgia's most recent commits. I think the most recent commit in the 23 class. He's going to be in town. 4-star tight end Lawson Lucky out of Norcross will not be at the game. Watch Alabama here down the stretch. I've said that for a while now. I'm going to say it again. So those are just a few commitments that I've confirmed. And, of course, more will be in town. That'll be over on DAWGSTRUCTION. As far as targets go, the big one, 5-star edge defender, elite pass rusher, Damon Wilson out of Florida. It's going to be in town. Looked like an Ohio State, Alabama for a long time, but this is the weekend where Georgia can roll out the red carpet for him and his family and really put their foot in his recruitment and possibly be a true contender. So I think they're higher on his list than people think, but this is an opportunity for the Georgia staff to hit a home run with him and his family on campus for this official visit. Definitely one to watch. Now, I think Samuel Mpemba, a guy who has watched Georgia play live twice so far this year, I think he's going to be back in town. And then Roderick Robinson is a running back who I've been told it will be in town. I don't know if it's for an official visit or not. I don't think it is going to be because he plays, I think, on Friday night. But if he makes it to town, that is a big deal. Haven't confirmed it with himself just yet, but I do think he'll end up there. This is a guy who is just running through defenses left and right each Friday night down in San Diego. You know, if he's not rushing for 200 yards, he's rushing for 300 yards. I mean, every week, this guy's putting up monster numbers. 220 pounds. The dude is an absolute bowling ball with gigantic legs, just bouncing off defenders left and right. Georgia obviously needs a running back in this class. I think they need to take 2 every class, but that's just me. It might just be 1 this year. Roderick Robinson could be that guy. Current UCLA commitment, and the Bruins are playing really well, but he knows that he has an offer from Georgia. Del McGee went to watch him play last Friday night before flying to Columbia. So he is a big deal. Getting him in on campus is a big deal. And he's a guy who, you know, if he does make it to campus, like I think he's going to, then he's absolutely on flip watch for me. So big time 4-star running back to keep an eye on out of San Diego. Another running back, in-state guy, Jordan Louis out of Meadow Creek. Played at Alabama, or in Alabama last year as a junior. Now he is tearing it up in the state of Georgia as a senior, current West Virginia commitment. He had one of the best runs I've ever seen from a running back last weekend against a North Gwinnett team that has plenty of D1 talent on their defense. And Jordan Louis just zigzagged right through their defense. He had a monster game. And after that game against North Gwinnett, rushed for 200-something yards, caught a few more passes. Del McGee called up Todd Wofford, head coach at Meadow Creek, great guy, said, hey, get this guy on campus. I want to see him and, see what we can do. If he gets an offer, that would be a big deal. I think he's an SEC back myself. I think he's a little too good for West Virginia. He is having a monster year, so he is an in-state running back that does not have an offer right now, but could sooner than later. So he's one to watch, and I do think he is expected to be in Athens this weekend. The 24 class, quarterback Ryan Montgomery from Ohio is one to watch. Four-star wide receiver Jalewis Solomon out of Schley County down in South Georgia. Easy, a top 20 kid in the state in that class. Cam Davis, four-star running back down in Albany, currently committed to Florida State. I think Georgia still has a shot with him. He's 50-50 on visiting Georgia this weekend. If he does, that would be a big deal. That dude can run. He is physical. One of the best running backs in the country for the 2024 class. Sammy Brown, five-star linebacker out of Jefferson High School. He told me he's trying to make the game. Didn't confirm 100% that he'll be there, but I do think he will show up and be in Athens this weekend. Four-star wide receiver Sokovie White out of Cass High School in North Georgia. The big-time playmaker with excellent ball skills. He's had a really good last 4 or 5 months on the recruiting trail. He's going to be in town. I think Georgia probably leads Clemson for him right now. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. In the 2025 class, I know these guys are young. They're just sophomores right now. And I know a lot of people who follow recruiting don't look that far ahead. They're usually just focused on the current class. We'll dig in a little bit about the 24 class and the juniors, but these kids are sophomores right now, and this is a very, very deep group in Georgia. Five-star Elijah Williams, five-star edge defender out of Savannah, might be arguably the top player in the country in his class. I think he's the number 2 player right now in the state of Georgia behind Zayden Walker, a linebacker out of Schley County. Both of them are going to be in Athens. So the best of the best in Georgia in the 2025 class are going to be in Athens this weekend. So again, five-star edge Elijah Williams, five-star linebacker Zayden Walker, four-star quarterback Antoine Hill Jr. out of Houston County. He's having an excellent sophomore season for the Bears. His cousin is DeAndre Hill, former Georgia offensive lineman. He's going to be in town. And then four-star tight end Ethan Barber out of Alpharetta High School. Saw him play earlier this year against Jefferson and Sammy Brown. He's excellent. Already has an offer from Todd Hartley and the Georgia staff. So he's another guy who confirmed to me that he'll be in town. A few others are not sure yet. A lot of guys still trying to figure out where they're going, still trying to speak with the staffs across the country, figure out, what's the best time for them to go, if it's this weekend, later in the year, so on and so on. So again, this is not a full list at all. I'm going to have a bigger list over on DAWGSTRUCTION later in this week once I hear from more prospects. But overall, I've said for a while, this is going to be a game where Georgia has or one of the biggest recruiting weekends. I think the Tennessee game is another game where a lot of guys are going to be in town. If Georgia's biggest commitments and targets are not in town for this game, they're going to be in town for the Tennessee game because there are so many players who told me, I'm going to Alabama to watch them take on Texas A&M. Night game in Tuscaloosa, I get it. So for the guys who are not showing up in Athens, most of them are going to be in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And the guys that are visiting Alabama and Tuscaloosa this weekend told me that they're going to be in Athens when they play Tennessee next month. So, of course, this is a very, very good list, very strong list, but I still think that the Tennessee game next month is probably going to be the biggest recruiting weekend as far as prospects coming into town, taking in the game. So, again, multiple 5 stars count on this list alone that I've given you all. I'm counting 5 commitment AJ Harris, Damon Wilson, 5-star target on his official visit. I think Sam Mpemba is going to be back in Athens. I think Georgia leads for him. Not sure if they're going to get both Damon Wilson and Samuel Mpemba. They just need one, really, of those 5-star edge guys. And I think they're going to get at least one. And then 2 5-stars, in my opinion, in the 2025 class. Still guys to keep an eye on. I love this stuff, and I know a lot of people don't look that far ahead, but the state of Georgia is absolutely loaded in 2024 and 2025. Deeper, more talented than the current 2023 class in my eyes. So they might be young, but they are guys to keep an eye on because eventually a lot of these guys are going to be playing for Georgia, making plays against Auburn and all these other schools, 330 CBS. So if you don't know their name right now, that's okay. But you need to get to know it because you're going to see a lot of these guys playing for the Dogs down the road that are going to be in town this weekend in that 2024-2025 class. So, again, lots of notes, recruiting notes already on Dog Post right now. So make sure you head over to the site, check out the little early list that I've got up there. And, of course, still adding notes, still adding players to the visitor list. And Again, I'll have a bigger list out on Dog Post later this week, so make sure you check it out. But in general, big time recruiting weekend as the Georgia Bulldogs host the Auburn Tigers, who have not beat Georgia in Athens since 2005. Georgia's running away with the series, and I think they're going to win this ball game convincingly against the Tigers in Sanford Stadium. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on Dog Post.